Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Video Mail for the week of July 18th, 2011. Welcome to the site for the new members and welcome back to the old members. The Ask Video Mail is your chance to get your question in animation or performance answered on video just like this one, but I can't answer your question until you send it in. Please send in questions. I need more. Send them in. Don't be shy. The address to send them to is webmaster@kennyroy.com. I promise I look through all the questions and I answer the ones I think will help the most people. And this is going great. It's been going for a while, hasn't it? I started this site in November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 8 months and still going strong. I'm just so appreciative of you guys. Thank you for being here and supporting the site. And please participate. Post in the forums, send in questions for the Ask Video Mail, and also the resource wish list is a form that you can put your ideas for lectures in the future. And there's a lot of lectures loaded up in there already, but I can always use more. So again, just drive the content on the site. It's the best way to get the value out of this, the best value that you can. I have also received some weird emails from people who have ordered videos on the store and never get their download links. You should get an email that has your download link at the very bottom. It says, in order to download your items, follow this link, and it's like kennyroy.com/something download.cfm, and also there's a password, and normally the passwords are formatted like number PD number or something like that. Make sure you look in your spam folder before you freak out. It might be in there. I have had some members tell me that the spam folder gobbled up their download links. If you do order something and you don't see it within an hour, send me an email. I'll send you the download link right away. As soon as I see your email, I jump right on it, and so we'll sort that out. So don't worry, the store is operational. It's just had a little bit of trouble lately, and I'll try to get that worked out with the owners of MemberGate, which is the software that I use for the site. This Ask Video Mail is a very good one. Let's get to the question. I think you're going to enjoy this. Guilty as charged. I do talk about walling off with keys and then editing the section, or bookending. You can call it whatever you want, but basically what the strategy is that when you have a major change to a section of your animation, rather than destroy it all or try to do the change without doing this method, you do this to protect what you want to keep in your scene. Okay, so it does make it so that there's a full body key on something that might not, a moment that might not have a full body key normally or naturally. So you are adding kind of like a breakdown when you do this. But the upside, again, is that you get so much, basically you get so much less work having to correct like the phrasing and especially the transitions in and out of the poses when you have a major change. So you can call it whatever you want. You can call it bookending. You can call it walling off. I think I'd like to call it walling off with keys. That's normally what I call it. And I haven't really just like done it for you. So I thought this would be a good video mail to do because you should definitely get practice doing this. This is a very well-known, well-used, practiced skill that professional animators use for sure. I've seen many people do this, and they know what I'm talking about when I say this. So if you haven't done this before, start practicing this. I want to emphasize a little bit more on this site, just a little bit more workflow. I know I sound like a broken record when I talk about workflow, but I do want to emphasize it just a little bit more than even I am right now, because I just seeing that the more workflow work my students on Animation Mentor put in, just the better everything goes. It compounds itself. The more you do, the better you get, and the more workflow practice you can do, and then it just builds and builds and builds. So anyway, try this out. Practice this. Don't necessarily wait around until you have a gorgeous film quality shot to do this to. Do this on a piece of animation that you have right now. Okay, so I've got this shot. This shot is it's actually being used right now. This is going into the current season of Destination Truth. Um, Pretty cool shot. Basically, the way this works is there's like a camera that orbits around, and we're showing off the creatures. Okay, so I got this piece of animation back from one of my animators, and you'll notice here at the end, the character has like these kind of like wiggles. Let me constrain the timeline here. It's a very long shot. Okay, so it has these like wiggles in the arm, and the head looks back and forth really quickly right towards the end of the shot. So the reason I don't like that is because I never like to have too big of a motion near the end of a shot that isn't like motivating the cut, that isn't driving the cut. So if there was another shot after this shot that this is supposed to be a vampire. The vampire, was like turning and then it cut, and then on the other side of the cut you see the finish of the turn, sure. But not when we're doing like, this is the end of this entire section in the show. They're cutting to something completely different. So I don't like to keep things that close to the end of the shot. So it's very simple. All you do is I'm going to turn all objects off on my selection masks here, and then turn curves back on. That way I know I'm selecting just the animation controls. Okay, and then I'm going to take a look in the graph editor and see what's going on here at the end. And as you can see, just from first blush, there's a lot of keys like bunched up here at the end, and there's actually some weird tangent things going on. So if you look at this curve right here, you see that this tangent handle was flatted. Looks like something, and then here's a weird key, and then here's a weird key, another one right here you can see, right? So it looks like this is almost something that the animator didn't even want to get in there. And also, you'll see this curve right here, oops, this curve right here ends on this frame, ends on frame 456. So, can't quite tell what's going on. Maybe something was rescaled, I don't know. So it's always good to do a little bit of diagnosis before you do this method, just so that you know what's going to happen. The number one thing that you're going to run into is you're going to see that some of the keys are unsnapped if you scaled your animation. So I'm just going to really quickly check that. If you go up to Edit, select Unsnapped in the graph editor, it will select all the keys that are unsnapped, and you can move them around. So luckily, it does not look like there's any unsnapped keys. It's just really dense here at the end. So with all of my controls selected, I'm going to go to the pose that I want to keep, which is like right here. In fact, I don't even like that fist opening so much as it does. So like 476, I'm going to hit S to set a key, and you'll see the little feedback tab right here, result 426, meaning I set a key on all controls on that frame. All right. And now I want to get a little bit of a moving hold into that end part, so I'm going to select everything after it, and I'm going to drag it out, okay, like 20 or so frames. And then I'm going to go one frame ahead, as you can see right here, and I'm going to middle mouse drag this frame to the end, hit S to set key, and then I'm going to delete all these bad keys back here. Now we have, if we look in the panel, from 476 to 480, see we have that just a little bit of movement. I'm not even sure you're going to be able to see that on the screen. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, that's the movement right there. Okay, so now we have the end is looking good. Now let me find the beginning pose before the arms start going all wiggly. It looks like there's a little bit of jiggle in the shoulder, all that. So let's go like right here. I like the hand coming up, but I don't like it rotating around and out there. So let's just have the hand come up. Actually, you know what? I like it better down. So let's go to 450 and hit S. And then you'll see in my graph editor, again, a key was set on every single control on this frame. And now I know all this animation before this frame 450 and everything after 476 is protected. It's walled off, or it's bookended. And now I can select everything in here, just delete. Okay? Now sometimes you'll notice that the animation blending up to this point does feel like it comes a little bit to a halt. What I like to do is I like to kind of double bookend it. So I'll find, it looks like right here is kind of like a pose. If you look at the density of the keys, it looks like there's a lot of keys set near this frame. So I'll set a key on this frame, okay, and delete what's in there. And I might even do it one more time, but maybe not. Maybe I'll just do it just one more time right here, okay? I'm just going to spline these out so that they're nice and smooth, okay? And there's a little bit of tweaking that you have to do. You always have to tweak. I mean, we can't get out of tweaking, so don't try. You know, just plan for it. Make it part of your workflow. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in and make the pose that I want. So this is rotating up far too much. I'm just going to middle mouse drag and reduce that amount a little bit. This elbow, it's happening a little too fast, so I'm actually just going to slide this key. Okay, the shoulder is happening too fast as well. I'm just going to slide that key. Okay, I like how he turns and his arm position changed, but I don't feel like there's enough like sympathetic movement in the chest, so I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to basically overshoot this a little bit. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit of translation in there too. And then have it just come back just a little bit, animating straight forward right here. Okay, it's feeling a little bit choppy. So I'm just going to, this is basically how I polish. I'm not just, you know, adding keys and going willy-nilly. I'm always making sure that the result, I'm checking the result in the panel. I'm playing it and seeing if I'm getting what I like. And you know what? I really like this. The reason I like this is because it does look like he's doing a full body change. He's also, as he's turning, he's like opening up his hands, and his body has like a little bit of movement after that. And his mouth actually opens. He goes, rah, kind of like that. I really like that. So I would probably work, you know, maybe another 20 minutes on this. Just make sure everything that's in there is a conscious choice. You know when you're off workflow, when you look at your animation and something is like you didn't decide to put it there. It wasn't your choice. It's like Maya or whatever, something snuck, you know, or sneaked. I don't know, what's the word? Sneaked into your animation without you realizing it. That's how you know you're off workflow. Everything should be your choice, okay? So I'll probably work on this another 20 minutes and finish it up, or send it back to the animator that sent it to me. But this is the method. So you wall it off or bookend it with keys, delete what's in the middle, and then you're sure that everything before and after is not going to get screwed up. All right. You may have to do what I like to do, which is kind of like double bookend it, just to make sure that there's a little bit of a preparation into that big bookend, because we deleted 30 frames here, so that's a lot of time. But if it's a small section, like 8 frames or so, you probably don't have to. So, and don't forget, when you're starting to put animation back in, you probably want to start off with you know, the fundamentals. Go back to the fundamentals. So you saw me putting a little bit of overshoot, you know, in the body. You saw me adjusting, you know, the slow in of that arm pose as it gets extended, that kind of thing. Okay, so don't forget to send questions in. I need more and more questions. Okay, send the questions to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I promise to answer all the questions I think will help the most people. Thanks for supporting the site. Please tell your friends. Don't forget about the referral bonuses and all the free time you can earn on the site by just telling people to sign up. All right, good luck with your animation, and as always, rock on.